Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our village trees. We've got some really cool 3D paper trees for you to add to your little villages that you're creating. I mean, we've got well, obviously the new bundle that includes the 3 little restaurants. We've had bakeries, barns, haunted houses, all sorts of cool stuff. If you're making little villages, I found that these really complement the paper structures much better than some of those faux trees that you'd find maybe in a Department 56 or a Limax sort of collection. But anyway, so there's 2 different trees, and one of them looks like this. You're going to have 4 pieces like this, okay? And this is the top. This is the beautiful little deciduous tree. And then I think this is also another deciduous, just different shaped, okay? And there's 4 pieces like this, and then 4 pieces like this. And I'll show you how all that goes together. But before we do that, I just want to talk about a little bit about inking. Okay, so obviously you can see the difference here between the 2. This one, you can see the edges are nice and inked. Okay, it's optional, you don't have to do it. But one additional thing that I may recommend is these little cutouts here. You want to take them and pull them out, and then maybe just kind of wrap them around your thumb to round them so they're not, you don't want to fold them up. I mean, you can, but I think rounding them, just kind of give them a little bit of a dip or a curve is actually really nice. And if you do want to apply ink to that, obviously in addition to the perimeter, you can add some ink to the perimeter. And then if you want to add some ink to these little pullouts here, what I would do is just kind of bend the tree in a way where when you glide this through and you swipe an ink, you don't hit the surface behind it. Okay, so I'm just kind of folding the paper behind this down so that as I swipe, I'm not accidentally brushing up against this part here. And just kind of turn the piece as needed so that you can kind of bend that down and just kind of swipe it and hit it with a little bit of ink. Okay, now I already did this on both the trees, so I'm not going to do all of them, but I just want to give you an idea of what that could look like. And then also, I did it on this one as well. Pulled these out, gave these a little bit of ink, and also did the perimeter. Okay, so let's put together this tree here. Again, there's 4 pieces like this and 4 pieces like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these back to back. Oh, by the way, as far as inking goes on this, you don't need to ink up here because this is actually going to be covering this up right up to these little score marks here. So you want to just ink below the score marks down to the bottom of the trunk. Okay, so we're going to take just 2 of these, and obviously you want to fold everything in half, and we'll get our glue going on one side here, and try to make sure you get that glue all the way out to the edges of the perimeter of the piece. Don't have to get every single inch, but do your best. And then we're just going to take these and put them back to back. Now, keep in mind, if you're using AC cardstock like I am, you want the texture side facing out, okay? And do your best to get all this lined up nicely. You can actually press it down flat once you get everything lined up, and that'll make it a lot more seamless if you do that, okay? So we have these 2 pieces connected like this. And one thing I did discover while I was making these for the new bundle is you could get away with just doing 3 of them and it would still look pretty cool. And to be quite honest, you could probably just do this and the front of it would still look great. But for stability and just so that it's consistent all the way around, I just put 2 of them together. I actually did this one off camera. So once you have the other 2 put together, you can just kind of glue them together like so. It's pretty straightforward. So I'll take another half. So it's just 2 halves. I put 2 here and 2 here together to form these 2 halves, and then we'll sandwich these together as well to form the full tree. Okay, just get your glue. You want to get it on the entire surface here on both sides, both halves. And pardon my froggy voice. I think I may have caught something recently, and that is not anything new in our household since my girlfriend works at a hospital as a nurse, and she just brings everything home. And that's okay. And it just helps our immune systems. Okay, so we're going to press that down. Just make sure everything is nice and lined up. and press that down. You can kind of fold it any which way just to make sure everything is nice and solid. There you go. Okay. The same thing is going to apply to this one. I'm still going to do it, but it's pretty straightforward. Okay. Then we can start and take these guys, and you'll notice that there are some score marks here. There's one here, one here, one here, and we're going to glue this down and we're going to match it up with those little score marks. Okay. So this is where it gets a little tricky. What I would actually do, just to simplify it, is I would just keep the glue around the perimeter. I don't even think there's any need to put the glue inside. Okay, we're just going to work the perimeter, and then that way we don't have to worry about getting any glue in areas that are peeking through these little cutouts. Not that it would really matter too much, because that glue dries clear. It leaves a little bit of a sheen, but it's tolerable. But again, I think if you just go around the perimeter and just pop that right in there, you can still see a little bit of glue. So it's not foolproof, but then just press that down. Make sure that it's all the way in that little corner as far as it'll go. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, and then you're just going to repeat that process on the 3 additional sides here. I'll do a couple more here with you. So now we're going to take and glue the next section down. I had to stop for a second and everything dried out. So I'm reapplying here. The key here is just to make sure that when you take this next piece, you're actually getting it into this crevice here as far as it'll go. So just kind of fold it, pop it in there. Look at that little guide that we have. Little guides there at the bottom, and then let it go. And then press it up against the other side, like so. And then we can take it and fold it down flat. And we should be able to press up against where these 2 sections connect. Okay, and then maybe fold it this way as well, just to kind of loosen it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So, and then we have it on here, and then we'll just continue around the horn here, gluing down each of the sections. And let's see here. So just put some glue on the green part on this side. Okay, and then you can put a little bit down here, and then obviously focus on the brown part here. You can do a little bit on the left as well. And again, I'm folding this in half, kind of popping it in there, looking at the little marker there, making sure that it's just above that marker. Pop it in as far as it'll go. Just kind of release it, match it up with the other side, the adjacent side here that we just glued down. Okay, and then you should be able to put this down flat. What is that? There we go. There we go. Okay, and if you do end up with some little gaps, you can definitely take and use our little painting method to kind of clean those gaps up a little bit. But you can see, and I didn't pull these out before I glued it down. You want to make sure you do that. Okay, so you can see you want these sticking out. You don't want them glued down. There we go. That one might have accidentally got a little bit of glue on it, and that's okay. We'll just pull those out again. Make sure you've got a little bit of separation there, so it looks kind of like that. Okay, and then finally on this one here, just throw a little bit of glue on the perimeter there, down here, down to the little score mark, like so. And there we go. And again, just take this guy. Don't forget to pull these up. Pop it in there. And just connect it with its neighbor. Just like that. Okay, quick little tip here. If by chance you do end up with a little gap, just take a, obviously I didn't put enough glue on there, just take a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to load this up with a little bit of glue. Not too much, just enough. Okay, and you can take it and just pop it right in between these 2 layers. Just paint a little bit of glue right on the very edge of those 2 sections there. And then you can just squeeze them together. Just wipe off any excess as you go. Okay, just like that. This is a pretty bulky piece, so of course you may end up with situations like that, but it's nothing that we can't fix, and you can see that looks nice and seamless, and there is our beautiful three-dimensional tree. So that one's done. Okay, so for this other one, process is going to be pretty much the same, just a little bit less surface area to have to deal with. So let's get our glue going on just 1/2 of a folded piece here. Okay, and make sure you get enough glue on there. Mine's already starting to dry out because I'm putting it on real thin. But line that up as accurately as you can. You can actually put it down flat if it's easier for you. Okay. And just line that up. You can actually press that down nice and flat like so. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got 2 halves connected, or 2 quarters connected, I should say. And let's grab another piece here. Now, just like we did a second ago, I noticed at the very tip of this kind of dried out a little bit. You can see how it's kind of split. And we're not splitting wood here today. We're making trees, so we're going to fix that up a little bit. Just paint a little bit of glue in between those 2 layers and press it down, if it happens. Okay, that looks better. And we'll just continue on here. Now, on the other tree, I kind of did 1/2 and 1/2. I put 2 sides together, and then I joined them together. You can also do it this way, where you kind of do it quarter by quarter. Okay, and either way will work. This way may actually be more accurate. Okay, so just line that up as accurately as you can, top to bottom. Press it down. And then again, you can actually press that down on your surface to really get that glue in there. Okay, and you know, as I mentioned, you could probably get away with just 3 sides and it would still look cool, because really you're only looking at one side of it. But again, for stability and for consistency, 360-degree consistency, we gave you 4 sides. But if you do decide to go the 3-sided method, then you'll have 1 extra piece, and by the time you make your 4th tree, you'll have an extra 5th one. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you're making a bunch of these. It might save you a little bit of time if you just do 3 sides. Okay, now with this one here, obviously we need to put glue on all 4 sides, or I'm sorry, on both halves. I feel like I'm in 3rd grade mathematics right now. We'll pop that in there and just do your best to get both sides connected. Now realize that you're not going to be able to flatten this out flat this way completely and get everything lined up, but you should be able to sandwich it this way and get everything lined up. Okay, let me fold that down, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got all 4 sides now. And again, it's going to be a lot more stable, I think, even though they say, well, I guess maybe tripods are more stable. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. The scientific, curious part of my brain always wonders about things like this. Okay, so now we're just going to start putting these on. And you'll notice down here, just above where the the base of the tree is, there's a little marker there. It's like a little mountain, and that matches up with this little mountain piece right here at the bottom of the tree. You just want to get that lined up like so. All right, so with this, again, I am going to just put glue on mostly the perimeter all the way out to the edge. Okay, just for the first one. The second one's going to be a little bit different, obviously, because this extends past that border. Fold this up and pop that in there. Align it with that little score mark at the bottom. Make sure it's all the way in. And press that down up against the brown portion. Make sure it's in there as far as it'll go. And again, if you do get some glue on the inside here, make sure you don't push these shut. And you can see, I can see some glue peeking out of there, but again, that's going to dry clear, so I'm not worried about it. All right, so once that's in place, let me actually take that and fold that down. Press that down, there we go. Now fold it over this way. Grab the next layer. Don't forget to pop these out. Ink them if you desire to. And now this time we need to put some glue on the green part here on this side as well. And it could probably just limit it just to that green part there. And then I'll do a little bit here, all the way out to the very tip. Okay, again, pop that in there, just kind of fold it, push it in as far as it'll go, match it up with that score mark, pop it in there, and then kind of like you're making a pie crust, just go up and down these little scallops on the side of the tree. Make sure they're all making good contact. Press those down. And then of course on this side we need to get it up against the brown part of the tree. There we go. And I've got a little bit of, got some gaps here in some of these little spots, but again, we can always take our little scrap piece of paper, put a little bit of glue on there, and just tuck it in between these little areas where maybe we didn't get enough glue, like so, and just press those into place. And they'll look nice and seamless. Okay, so there's that. And then we'll just continue around getting this one glued into place just like we did, matching it up with the other side. So let's do that. I'll do one more here with you, and then I think you kind of get the gist of it here. This one I'm going on the green all the way down, keep it above the score mark, and then we're going onto the brown section here on the right side, and pop that in as far as it'll go, match it up with that score mark, and there we go, making our little pie crust here, pressing it up against the green of the other side, and then make sure it's making contact with the brown part as well. Here we go. If you have some gaps, just grab that scrap piece of paper and add a little more glue in between there. And then finally, this is the last layer here. And this time around, we're just gonna go completely on the green on both sides, because we need those to match up nicely. And I'll just throw a little bit around the perimeter on the brown for good measure and some extra strength. Slide that right into the center as far as it'll go, and just press and squeeze up against the previous layer. Don't forget to have these popped out. I'm not going through that because, again, I did it on the one side just to demonstrate it. And there you have it. So take a look at the seam where the two sides connect. Make sure everything looks good. If not, one more time here, I'll show you. Just a nice long skinny piece of scrap paper. Throw a little bit of glue on there and just tuck it in between the two layers. You might get a little bit that squirts out, but just rub it off real quick. No harm, no foul, and then press. And there we have it. There's your beautiful tree, okay? So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know you guys were, I didn't actually say anything about the little tree freebies, but you guys saw in the photos and in the trailer that we had them and we're asking about them. We were planning on releasing them as a freebie, so here you are. Enjoy them. I can't wait to see them incorporated in your little villages, or even if it's not a village, if it's a single structure on the little platform or base that you create for it. These really complement them a lot better than, like I said, the little faux trees that you would see on like a model train set or a Limax or Department 56 house. So anyway, I had a great time. I hope you did as well. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We just hit 47,000 subscribers, so thank you to each and every one of you. So head over to our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, also hit the bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free. And also we've been doing a lot of live videos, so you'll get notified for those as well. And if you make this or anything from our lunch lane bundle that we just released, I would love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, or you can type in this little URL that you see here at the bottom of your screen. So happy tree making, and as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.